Welcome back to Copic in the Craft Room. Michelle Houghton here, and we are going to take a quick peek at how to determine if your ink is going to be compatible with your Copic markers. This is something we have reviewed in all of our classes, or that we do review in our classes, but I want to make sure everybody knows how to do that. This exact same test is going to apply to not only your sketch pens, but your stamping ink and your printer ink. So you would do the exact same test no matter what it is. And I'm going to show you kind of one that's going to work and one that's not, so you can get a feel for what that's going to look like. So I'm going to draw two lines on this piece of, this is Express blending card. So this is a line drawn with a Copic multi-liner. Nice long line, and then I'm also going to draw a line with a Sharpie. So one of these is going to work, the other one is not, and that is purposefully so. If I was trying to test out a stamping ink or a printer ink, I would either print an image or I would stamp an image, and I would do the same test as what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to pick a marker, and it really doesn't matter what marker, just a Copic marker. And I'm going to start drawing some circles right beside that line. And so my goal is that I'm truly going to saturate that paper with ink. And I'm working on top of an Express blended cardstock, and you're going to notice I'm speeding this up because it takes so long to get that to push over the line. But you're going to start to see it creep. There it goes, and I can just see those fringes of that blue to sneaking over that black line. You can see how much ink I've gotten on there. The bottom is truly saturated. And this paper is super tight and a hard cardstock. If I'd use something softer like Nina, it would move a little faster. But now you can see that black line is sitting nice and tight. So I move down to the Sharpie, and again, notice I'm not touching that black line at all. And the reason is, and you're going to see this here in just a second as this ink starts to move across the Sharpie, look how now it's pushing that black line and actually moving the line. That's an ink that if I picked up on my nib might hurt the nib. So you can see the difference between the two. On my Sharpie, it started to push the line in the direction that the ink was flowing. So it actually curved the line and then bled. Where the multi-liner sat really tight, it's not budging. So I would do the exact same process if I was stamping an image, and I can pull across an image that I'm going to be coloring later. So an image like this, if I wasn't sure about the ink, I can come right beside my image and I can color in small circles right beside the image and watch that ink travel across and see if that ink holds tight. I would do the exact same thing again for my printer ink. So if you have questions about, I don't know if my printer ink will work, that is the best test you can do. Keep your marker off of the ink so it's not picking it up on your nib, because you never know what's going to pick up and then clog up your nib. But this will tell you if it's going to work or not. If it doesn't, you have to find another process or a different ink. If it's your printer, your home printer, two options. Obviously, you can change the ink, but we hate to tell you you have to go buy a new printer. That obviously is an expenditure none of us are planning on until our printer truly kaputs out on us. So another option is printing off your images and then taking them to a copy shop and letting them use their laser printers. So bring in your images, bring in your favorite Copic cardstock and ask them to print that onto that cardstock. So obviously if you have to make that extra trip, you're gonna do several stamps on a page, ask them to make a couple copies of each set of groups of stamps, and then you'll be ready to color for a while. But those laser printers in a copy shop are definitely gonna hold tight. Thank you so much for joining me this week. If you have not done it yet, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video. As always, ask questions. So if you have questions about this or questions about Copics in general, make sure to ask them. I am listening and I try to respond as quickly as possible. Lastly, go ahead and join us over at Copic in the Craft Room on Facebook for loads of Copic and crafting inspiration. Thanks for joining me. Have a happy, colorful week.